great, thank you.
I'm so excited to see you because I'm teaching a junior achievement class next week and I'm just getting prepared and I thought you might have some advice for me.
Oh my gosh, I'll try.
So I'm looking forward to the class, but I'm a little bit nervous because I don't do a whole lot of speaking in front of students.
Yeah.
I do a lot of corporate presentations and business meetings, but I don't know, something about being with students, I'm worried I won't get it right.
Well, the great thing about teaching about money is that it's in our everyday life. It's everywhere and it's relatable. And like learning in your corporate presentations, if you connect with the people, get on their level, give them things to understand that they can relate to, they're going to take a lot away from it.
Oh yeah, so how do you get people to relate to it?
Well, one of the great ways of doing that is to tell stories.
Oh, sure.
Stories are what make us human. So when somebody wants to get material across to someone by telling a story, something that happened to them, something that's really personal, then it makes the content concrete. You know, a lot of what happens in learning and in classrooms and in teaching, really, is abstract concepts that are really hard to get your head around or don't have anything to link it to something that you can relate to.
Money can be like that. It's so much of money is invisible for kids.
Kids see spend everywhere, but how often do they actually see earn, save, or donate? That's the beauty of video, allowing for them to see those concepts on the screen or through stories and examples really helps them to understand and get that aha moment.
Oh yeah, so when I'm telling a story, should I try to think back to an example from when I was their age, the student's age? Or is it okay to tell an example of just recent what's happening to me now, what kinds of decisions I'm making with money now?
Yeah, I think be authentic. I think whatever comes to mind that feels like a story that you can reach them emotionally and give them something concrete to work with. Emotion is such a big part of learning. Sometimes we forget that actually an emotional story or having relevance to their life, bringing in that emotion, is what makes learning sticky.
Cool, sticky. So tell me about what makes a story emotional, or what do you mean when you say make it emotional?
Well, it's connection,
Yeah.
right? So if you tell me a story and then I have a similar experience or it makes me think of something in my life, I'm emotionally connected.
So what makes a good story? How do you start a good story?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. We're not talking about a TED Talk or something of that nature. We're really talking about simple, short examples where this has happened in your life. So the first thing I do is I think backwards. What do I want the kids to learn?
Oh.
This lesson is about, we have 4 choices
Sure.
with our money, and once we know those 4 choices, we can reach our long-term goals. Once I know that, then I think of an idea. What's an idea where I had to use that knowledge? Then the sort of 3 core principles are what happened, tell what happened, tell whether what happened was good or bad, and why. So the great thing about telling stories is it also prompts stories of something that might have happened in my life. And so your students can then become an interactive force
Oh yeah.
to help create concrete examples around the learning.
Is it okay to tell a story that might not have a good ending?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the cool thing about all of us is that we make mistakes, and we actually learn the most when we make mistakes. And it's also great for the students that you're teaching to feel like you're a human and that you make mistakes as well. Makes them feel better about themselves. And it also maybe gives them an opportunity to help you think about something.
Sure.
Think about it in different ways.
Sure. Well, I think you've given me some pretty good advice here. Come up with a story that's relevant to your goal of what you're trying to teach and what students should learn. Make it relatable and interesting for them, and make it authentic about your real life. And then talk students through the choices that you had to make to get to the end of that story, and ultimately if you were happy with the outcome or not.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's great. And sometimes you could stop at the end of your story, and instead of answering whether it was good or bad for you, ask the students
What they think.
what they think. And really, the active participation of that also makes the learning sticky.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, allowing them to interject their own thoughts and feelings about it. Thanks for all the advice. You've put my mind at ease. I'm not nervous at all now. I'm really looking forward to it.
Just enjoy it and speak from the heart.
Thanks, Dr. Alice.
Thank you.